fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Coming at you live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24. With the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sheri Tills.
Sheri Worrell.
Welcome in, and hopefully having a great Sunday morning. I'm Jake Bachman, filling in for Harrison Arns, who hopefully is enjoying a wonderful wedding, I think that he had to go to. I went to one actually last night. I'll go to one this Friday. So it is wedding season in before Husker football season as usual. But welcome in to What's Next. I'll throw it to Michael and Sheri as we have some wonderful guests in studio as well.
Thank you, Jake. And you know what? We are so excited. We're so excited for the show today. We're so excited that you're with us, Jake.
Thank you.
We
Good
love
morning,
you, Harrison, but thank you for giving us Jake this morning. Anyways, what's next? With Mike and Sheri, we are a radio show that celebrates everyday people doing extraordinary things, from small town dreams to big city breakthroughs. This show is all about real stories, but especially real joy and the power of moving forward. Your next chapter could be your best one yet. We're on every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Yes, it's early, but it's worth it. On 93.7 The Ticket FM. And we want to give a big shout out, a big thank you to Derek, also known as DP, and Rebecca Pearson in making this show happen for us. We really, really appreciate it. And also congrats on your award, being one of the top 3 finalists for Best Radio Show in Nebraska. So that's pretty cool. So we're honored to be on this show.
Yeah, that's great.
On this station, this show, the station, the whole thing.
Yep.
Mike, you want to introduce our guest?
Oh, I sure do. Sheri, I'm so excited. I'm getting hungry already just thinking about what we're going to be talking about today. We are Mike and Sheri. We're on 93.7 The Ticket, and today we've got some great people in studio. Some 2 people who really know a thing about great food, the kind that sticks to your ribs and warms your heart. I want to welcome Tina, Hurd, and Menno, known as Chubb. We're so proud to have you guys on today.
Glad to be here.
Good morning, guys.
How are
Good morning.
So glad you're here. This is just a great day for us and great what we get to do, because we know how passionate you are about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump in, guys. Let's just jump in. And either one, jump in. Where are you from?
Well, before I say that, I want to, if I may, I want to just send a shout out to my daughter, Ariel and Levi. They just had their first baby Thursday.
Yes.
And he's adorable, by the way.
Brand new grandparents. Thank you.
Grandbaby number 12.
I look forward till later today, we get to meet them. We went to the hospital, but they had just taken them in to get a hearing test, and we waited, but we had to get back to the restaurant. So today's the day. But I'm originally from Indiana. I was born in Richmond, Indiana. At an early age, I don't remember, we moved to California. So Covina, Glendora area. And we was there till I was about, I'd say 10, 11. And then we moved back to Indiana till I was 13 or 14, and then back to California. And I was in California until 2014, and that's when I made my move to Lincoln.
Where did you guys meet?
We met in California.
Oh, in California.
I'm
At a
born
bar.
and raised.
Well, Tina, how about you? Where are you from?
I'm born and raised Southern California.
Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
So you met in California.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing? Tina, let's talk about you, Luerica. What were you doing in California?
At what
Back in the
stage?
Were you born and raised there?
I was born and raised there.
Okay.
So met Manuel when I was 23. We've been together since I was 23. Like you said, we met at a bar, nightclub. His brother was Yeah, that he owned. He had a brother that DJ'd there.
What?
So I was familiar with the family a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I was introduced to.
Well, either one, jump in. What was your hopes and dreams? You were going to school back in the day. What, like, we talk a lot about this show, everybody, in terms of growing up. There's things that people that you meet along your life, early years that influence you. Early in your high school years or college years, whatever, what were you planning to do? What was your goal?
I had always wanted to work in psychology or counseling. So,
Did you do that?
I just graduated last year with my master's.
Oh wow!
So,
Congratulations.
From
That's awesome. So that was the dream back in the day. And how about you? What were you thinking at the early years?
And I wanted to do so much, but my main thing was I wanted to cook. I didn't know where, I didn't know how, I didn't know what. I wanted to cook. And I became a father, and it was more important to take care of the family. So I kind of put that to the side. Then I met Tina. She had kids. It's more important. So we kind of put that to the side. So Tina and I got kind of like a late start in life. Yeah. You know, she started school 5, 6. No, you started 9 years ago when you first moved here. You started.
I did. I went to school for a little while, but raising 6 kids, school just wasn't.
Yeah, and that's a lot of things we talk about on this show in terms of why we wrote our book called Next 24, is that it happened to us too. I mean, life derails you. Things in life get you way off track. And sometimes that can be really hard. Did it ever feel like you got so off track that maybe you found yourself not happy, not doing what you wanted to do, but you have to work for a paycheck. You got to, like you just said, that's what struck me. You have a family, you've got children, you got to put food on the table. But what about your hopes and dreams? What about what you really wanted out of life?
I wouldn't really say we was unhappy. The thing was, we was just working our tails off.
Right.
Because California is expensive. So I had full-time job, 2 part-time jobs. She had a full-time job, part-time job.
Wow.
So, we was always doing family things. Like we bought jet skis, boats. We was always taking our family out and stuff. So we didn't really think of it. We was just making a living.
And living life, right?
Going with our business. And then Ariel, she was like, well, Dad, I got my degree in business. And she graduated in, was it 2014 or 13? 13. And she's like, if you come out here, I can help or whatever. So
I'm sorry, it was 14.
So I talked to Tina, and then I came out here to start the food truck. And
life got derailed again.
We got derailed again. What do you mean?
Because you didn't.
I didn't. I was going to say that. I was going to say that. But we came out here, and it didn't turn out the way we wanted to. We always been in. We take care of individuals with disabilities. So even in California, we was doing that. So when I said I had 2 part-time jobs, that was my one part-time job. That I quit my full-time job. No, I always had a full-time job working with disabilities and then working part-time. So that's what it was. And then I became a manager at one spot. And so when we came out here, we started doing it, and we just ended up making more money.
Yeah.
And the money became more important, because we was able to go to Mexico. We was able to go to California when we wanted to. We was able to fly people out here. We was able to buy what we wanted. And just one day, Tina, we was talking about getting a pontoon boat, and then we want to tri-tune. And so we was looking at the colors and everything. And Tina was like, it's not a good idea or whatever right now and stuff. And I was like, but you just said 2 days ago we can get one. And she's like, well, it's just not a good idea. So I pouted and whatever. A couple of days went by. She's sending me all these Facebook posts of food trucks or trailers. And I was like, didn't put 2 and 2 together. And I was like, why are you sending me all these trailers? If we can't afford a boat, how are we going to afford one of these? And she's all, we could afford a boat. She's all, it's just, we don't need a boat. She's all, you came out here for a dream and it's been long enough. She's all, it's time to get started. And
were there people along the way that influenced you?
And getting
in the food truck, the business, but who were the people that you say you love food? Who were the great cooks, chefs?
Chef G. Garvin. Chef G. Garvin. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
Bobby Flay. I like Bobby Flay. Guy Fieri. And then I got a real good friend, Aaron Young, who owns Chef Au Chef. I don't know if you heard of him. But, you know, I would talk to him when I first moved out here. I met him at church, and he has a catering business. So there's just so many people I watched, and that's what I would do a lot. I would watch a lot of cooking channels and stuff. Just was intrigued by that.
Well, what was it about the just cooking? You're just cooking for the family, friends at the time. Why the passion? What is it about cooking that just ignites your fire?
I just believe it's God's gift.
Gift.
I believe each and every person on this planet, I don't care what you are, what you look like, God gives everybody a gift. And that's my gift.
And not everybody can cook.
No,
not everybody.
People think they can, but they can't.
Now, Tina, how about you? Do you cook? I'm assuming you do. You don't?
I don't. I mean, I cook in the restaurant, but no, I cooked for the kids when they were growing up. I didn't. I shared the responsibility with Manu, but I'm definitely not as great as him.
Well, let me pause for a minute. Tina, what was your passion then? That you felt you had, your natural talent.
My natural talent. I always worked with kids, so like he said, we worked. So
yeah,
I was a preschool teacher, then started my own in-home daycare. And then after that, I went into the LA County school districts and I started working with special ed.
Well, and we've talked before, and too, I'm really proud of you in the fact that you take care of people with disabilities.
Yeah. People have
I've worked in that field.
Idea. They have no idea. It's hard enough. I mean, I cared for my daughter all her life. She was special needs and deteriorated into a wheelchair. And we had the pleasure of and honor of coming to one of your 4th of July parties. And I got to meet a couple of the kids that you take care of. And I believe that they actually live in your home.
Yes, they do.
And, I am so in awe of that because it's one thing to take care of your own children, special needs or not. But to take into your home young adults, and these gentlemen are young adults. Do you still have this?
I have an individual. Actually, he's going to be 55. 56. Yeah. Next week. Cerebral palsy, adult scoliosis. So he is wheelchair bound. Needs full care.
But there's such a need for it. And the thing is there aren't enough people out there that are qualified to do it. And it's not just a matter of being qualified education-wise. It's a matter of having the heart.
Yeah, it has to come natural, I think, in that sense. I grew up, I did have an uncle who was a paraplegic. At 15, he broke his neck diving into a pool. And I just grew up taking care of him. I didn't know anything different. So it just becomes part of you.
But like what Chubb just said, everybody has that God-given talent. And that, I hate to use the term caregiver loosely because it's not a term to be used loosely. But that is a God-given talent. Yeah. I mean, I went back to school late in life. I worked a full-time job days. I had 3 kids at home. One was little and she had special needs. Yeah. And then went to school full-time nights. But that was my heart. That was, as some days you don't think of it as a gift because it's a lot of hard work.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work.
So you guys put this passion together. I want to talk about, you have this dream. Many people have dreams. What was the plan? Do you remember putting it down on paper?
Or did you have a plan?
Did you put it down on paper?
No. Okay. So
tell us how it got started.
So we started, Tina started sending me all these food trucks and it's a trip how this worked. Like I said, God had this was all God's plan, everything. So when we first moved out here, I knew I'm from California. I used to work for EFN and they was over on Old Cheney and like 50th, I would say. It's a couple blocks, I'd say 50th. And all I knew was to go back up to 70th, make a left, go to Havelock, make a left, travel over to where it turns into Superior or whatever, get on Purple Heart Highway, and we'd go to the lake, walk around the lake and stuff. Well, I always looked at my restaurant that I'm in now. So a couple years later, when we started getting the food truck, we was looking, and then I just happened to put on there well, we're looking for a food truck. Does anybody know who has one? Well, my son-in-law's mother reached out and said, I know who has one. It used to be our families. They used to make, what are them things? Funnel cakes. They used to make funnel cakes. She's all, and I sold it to a friend, and he's selling it. So we drove out there. It was in the winter. So I couldn't pull it. I had to wait, but we did put money down on it, and the trailer kind of stayed in the family, if you will. And then I started coming up with my wheels. Like I said, when she told me that we came out here for a purpose, my wheels just boom. That was like that fire. You know, you light a firecracker and it blows up. That was that wick that made me just blow up. And my wheels started spinning, and so I was like, what color do I want it? And I was like red, yellow, and orange, because when you see that does something to the mind. It makes you hungry. And then I started coming up with a name. And back in California, we was catering, and I was catering with a good friend, and he's supposed to be on the show in October. And we called it Chubb Rock's Barbecue. I'm Chubb, he was Rock. So we used to do barbecues, and we used to have yearly parties. So we'd go to a lake, and everybody would bring meat. We'd be there all day. Me and him would get there about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And we'd have DJs. They was dancing. Like, it would be a big thing. And it was all free. Just everybody brought their stuff, and it was just a big party. And then we'd cater on the side. So he started a food truck. And so I was like, I want a name. And so I told him, I said, you go ahead and keep the name Chubb Rocks, because it ain't the same. He's all, no, you keep it. And I was like, well, Chubb Rocks ain't the same without Rock. He's all, and Chubb Rocks ain't the same without Chubb. So he got a name. And then I was like, we'll do Soulfull Cocina. So like we're filling your soul. That's why I added the extra L. And then Cocina, I wanted to add Tina part of that, so that, Cocina is kitchen in Spanish. And so we feature Spanish dishes, authentic, every now and then. So then we came up with the logo. I put the logo together. And, so when I say that Chubb Rocks, if you notice on the pig, it says Chubb. Well, I don't have a tattoo that says Chubb, but I do have one that says Blessed that's on the pig as well. So we came up with that. I started going on Facebook, posting it. And a lot of these places was like, well, I don't know where you're going with that. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. And blah, 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 blah. Are you going to do Mexican, or are you going to do barbecue? And I was like, I'm going to do me. And, this is my gift, not yours. And God gave me the vision. And so I did it. And my tagline is, you dig. And
yes,
I'm not going to say no names, but they're in this room. And they kept saying, stop saying that. That's ghetto. That's dumb. That's dumb. Well, that's what I'm known for now. We'll be driving down the street, and you'll hear people say, you dig. And
yes,
so it's like I said, it's just a vision. It's just something I've been doing. And we started the food truck, and immediately we just started making noise out in the street. And I just so happened to be taking one of our individuals bowling. And so I was hungry, and I had called my buddy Jordan, who owns Birria Boss. And I said, are you working today? And he's like, yeah, but not till 6. Well, it was about 11:30. And I was like, well, I'm hungry. So we was right there on 48th. So we went to Motor Foods. I don't know if you ever heard of them. So we went to Motor Foods, and he was in a brick and mortar, started a food truck. And I was like, I like the building, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, well, when are you going to get a building? And I was like, I've been looking, but they're too expensive. And he's like, well, Boxcar Barbecue just came available. And I was like, Boxcar Barbecue? I said, that's not available. I just seen him posting. He's all, it did. And I was like, it didn't. Well, anyway, I look on Facebook, and sure enough, it said closed or whatever. So I went down there and looked in it, and it got everything in that building for $1.
Wow.
$1.
All the equipment,
everything.
utensils.
And
food
now,
warmers.
if you remember when I began, I said, I always looked in that building, and I was like, I want this. And I'm in it. Got everything for $1. I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
Oh my gosh, so am I.
Yeah, a lot of people say, well, you're not gonna make it, because no businesses make it in this particular building. And I said, well, no other businesses obviously prayed before they came in it. We prayed. As soon as we got the keys, we went in the front door, touched every wall, prayed, went through the kitchen, went through the back. And then we had our pastor come in, and right above the front door, he put some oil and prayed over it and stuff. And we're slowly but surely we're getting up there. And
Chubb, let me ask you though, from a business standpoint, as you do this, and this is great. People probably don't realize the hard work and the pain you go through, emotional pain, day to day. The grind. Let's talk about the grind. How did you know what equipment to get? How did you know what to do, what to find, how to put it together? Share that story that people don't know.
The only thing that I knew was I needed a steam table and I needed a refrigerator. Well, it had a refrigerator in there, but it was like a little college refrigerator, like just one you have in the house. Well, the people I bought the truck from was out in Johnson. So I guess that's a different county.
Mm-hmm.
And so I heard if you go an inch outside of Lancaster County, the rules are just different. So they came here and I did everything I was supposed to do. And the health department said, well, I can't give you a permit until you get a new refrigerator.
This
so
is in the food truck.
This is for the food truck. So I was like, what are we going to do or whatever? So I just happened to make a phone call and this guy says, I do have one. It was like $600. It was used, but it was a true refrigerator. It had the prep table. So you lift up the doors and stuff. And so we put that in there and we got it and we just went for it. And we're learning as we go. The cooking side, I got unlocked. The business end, we're learning.
Yes.
And
yes.
That's the hard thing.
Isn't that so?
Trial and error. When we started this, the food truck part, I want to say that I thought it was going to be like, it's going to give him something to do because he was working at Bryant Heating and Air. So I was just like, it's something he could do at night and on the weekends. And I thought it was going to be more of a hobby. And I think within like maybe 5 months, he ended up quitting.
No. Before we even got it, if you remember, Brian, because I would be sitting at my desk trying to come up with the logo. And so I've never got in trouble, never got taught, only got props where I was there because I was a good worker. And if you remember, they hired a new manager and he says, everybody's in here complaining that you're not doing work and you're too busy trying to come up with your food truck logo. And I said, well, they're not working because they're too busy snitching on me or whatever. And he's like, well, no, don't take it like that. And I said, I do take it like that. I was like, they're not getting their work done because they're obviously going to you talking about, what I'm doing and stuff. So I said, when I'm not doing nothing, I am doing my logo or whatever. So this was like on a Monday and Thursday night, I woke up, if you remember, and it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I said, I'm going to quit tomorrow. And she's all, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to put in my 2-week notice. She's all, are you sure? And I said, I'm positive, whatever. And, I was just praying on it, man. And I just kept like hearing this vision, go, move, whatever. And
Tina, I got to ask you that. You hear the word, he's going to jump with both feet in.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. And I thought it was going to be his thing. And all of a sudden we went full force and I was in that food truck and my daughter was in there. And then it just became a full-time job. So it was, the good thing is that we still had the clients. So financially we were okay. But when I was sending those food trucks stuff and getting it going, I didn't expect it to take off the way that it did.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan was to work 90% Brian, 10% food truck. Mm-hmm. And I just kept hearing, if you ain't going to make it, like something just kept telling me you ain't going to make it with 10%. Either you jump all in or you don't jump at all. And so I said, I'm quitting. And the next day I went in, wrote a letter and put in my 2-week notice.
Chubb, tell me, how did that feel? That had to feel good though. You're pulling the trigger. You're pulling the trigger at this point.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to either make this happen or I'm going to die trying.
Yes.
And it's happening. I mean, a lot of work. I sacrificed a lot.
So tell us what year you're doing the food truck. How long did you do the food truck? Just the truck?
From 2020 to 2020.
When did you move into your current location at 6105 Havelock Avenue?
23, 24,
22. So, December 22 is when we signed the contract.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why, but
we wanted to move in January 1st.
I was going to say it was the 1st of December when we signed the contract. And it was like, we could do a whole grand opening on New Year's and make it. Do
you remember when you walked in and just saw the walls?
Yes.
Do you remember that feeling?
Before we opened, or when we first got the keys?
When you got the keys, you walk in, you see the walls. It's an empty space there. What you saw?
Yeah, well, I mean, it had everything in there,
and
stuff, and the walls were just white, and they had 3 pictures. They had 2 on the east wall and one on the west wall, and it was cracked. They had at the end of the dining room, they had like a wall, like a little, I don't know, 4-foot wall that they put up where they had all their stuff. Yeah. And so I went in there about 4 or 5 times before I went to her and said, look, this is my idea.
With that, we need to take our first break, and we'll be right back just a moment. More with Tina and Chubb in just a minute.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
Bagels & Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in August. Try their brand new S'mores Cold Brew with graham cracker cold foam. Also try a S'mores croissant and add cake batter cream cheese to any bagel. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels & Joe.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
From the capital to castles. Starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Link to Literacy's 3rd annual Wordstock event will be at Antelope Park on Saturday, August 23rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a community book swap festival with fun for the entire family and for all ages. Enjoy food trucks, kids' activities, a reading corner with celebrity narrators, including Brian Helton, President and CEO, Director of Parks and Recreation, UNL athletes, and more. And, of course, free books for all kids and adults. Go to linktoliteracy.org to get the full story and then make your plans to attend Wordstock.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24, Michael Worrell and Sheri Tills.
That's right. We are back, and we are going to continue our wonderful conversation here that we have with Chef Chubb and Tina here of Soulfull Cocina in studio, along with Michael and Sheri. Michael and Sheri, I will send it back to you.
Jake, can I just say your intros are just fun.
They're stellar.
I love Harrison.
They're very stellar.
But you're just so upbeat.
Yeah. Got to bring the energy in the morning.
You make my heart happy anyway.
Yeah, when he comes in, I feel real professional.
That's right, baby. We are here with our amazing guest, Manuel, also better known as Chubbs, and his beautiful wife, Tina. And we've been talking about how they got started in the food business and their restaurant, their food truck. And it sounds like it's just been such an amazing journey. And, you know, I kind of sit here and listen to you with my jaw kind of dropping a little bit because you had so many different things going on all at one time. And you had children, although you just told me you came as empty nesters, but you know, being a mom, it doesn't matter how far away your kids are, they're still your babies.
Right.
So you're still dealing probably with some of their issues in California. And
that's when I decided to go back to school. So I was also in school.
Absolutely. Then you go back to school, and then he all of a sudden in the middle of the night wakes up and says, "Hey, I'm quitting my job." Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You know, it's funny because we've always lived chaotic like that. It was just normal for us, like to go.
Yes.
You know, we just piled on so much.
So it's just like,
and the drive.
Oh, okay, cool.
We didn't know any different.
Yeah, and it's funny because just the other day, it was like last week, she said we need to sit down and like prioritize our life and stuff because to this day, it's just like we're just everywhere.
You're going. Chubb, let's jump in. Let's jump in though. The Soulfull experience, the vibe today, the building today. Tell people what they can experience when they walk in that building today.
Well, the minute you walk through that door, I feel you're not a customer, you're family. We want you to have that family feel. Sometimes we'll have our grandkids in there and they're at the register. Like they'll push the chips to you or something, but it's all about family. We got music playing and it's like R&B music. And then it goes into the oldies. You'll get some Stevie Wonder, some Ray Charles, and then it'll go up to Mary J. Blige. But then we also have the back, and Tina wanted to create a beer garden. Well, in order to do that, we had to put a fence around it. So we put a fence around it, and we was talking about it. We was like, what are we going to call it? And my friend said, call it the Soul Patch. So
yeah, I like that.
Soul Patch.
When you started that, it was like in my head, I'm like, I'm digging that name.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, would you be able to pull up their menu? Or be able to pull up their website?
I will have to say that when we went into this building, like you said, he kind of went into it a couple of times before he brought me in, and it was just a shell. Everything was falling. Well, I thought just some paint was going to work. Mm-hmm. We had to do a lot of work, and we didn't take out a business loan. We didn't do anything like that. We didn't know to. So we started this out of our pocket. We did have some friends that helped in the beginning. But in the end, it was really just everything out of our own.
But that was smart because it kept you out of debt.
Well, I'd like to pivot from the customer experience. I've been in there. I've come through the door, walk in. Who's at the cash register?
Yeah.
Tina right there at the register. Comes in, great job, great service, always says hello, welcome. You see the beautiful board up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But who do we find back in the kitchen?
It'd be your boy Chef Chubb back
That's
there,
right.
probably dancing or
back
something.
There, hearing him talking away, having a great time. You're living life, loving life.
Mm-hmm.
Chubb, jump in. Tell us about this menu.
So the menu, we have specials. So we have specials, and a lot of those are stuff Tina and I came up with, and some of them have meaning. So the first thing on our special is the stash. One of my good friends, Randy Turner, lost his life 3 years ago in a motorcycle accident, and that dude can eat. Every time he's at our house, he'd eat pulled pork or hot links. So that is everything in one. So you got your hot link, pulled pork, coleslaw, and I named that the stash. And then on the door, I wanted to put Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through God who gives me strength. And our business partners at the time was like, well, ain't you scared that's going to scare people off? And I was like, well, if it scares people off, they're people I don't need here. And so I was talking to my next door neighbor who happens to be a pastor, and I was telling him about that. And he's like, well, I can see where they're coming from. He's all, but there's other ways you could say that without, throwing it in people's face. And I was like, well, what do you mean? He's all, I'm going to pray for you. He's all to come to you. And he prayed for me right there on his porch. And about 4 hours later, I called him up and I said, I'm going to make a burger called the 413. He's like, well, explain that to me. And I said, so Philippians, the PH, and then I added the OR for 4 and then 13. And that's a burger, like it's a huge burger, probably the best burger you'll get.
And if I'm reading that right, a smash burger with pineapple, pulled pork, coleslaw, barbecue sauce.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it's got sriracha mayo.
Tell us about the mac and cheese.
Oh, the mac and cheese. That's
I've heard you say mac and cheese.
I keep. I just feel my mac and cheese game's getting better. That's a food that my son hates, but he loves. He's always saying it's so nasty, but it's the first thing he orders, so he likes messing with me. But yeah. So I start the mac and cheese. I get the milk, and I started the cream, and I put cheese in there, and I melt it, and then I season my noodles, and then I pour the cheese sauce over the noodles, put it in the oven, let it bake for a while, and there it is.
But I'm telling you, it's, first of all, mac and cheese is soul food. That's part of the soul food menu. If you don't have mac and cheese and you're at a soul food restaurant or you're at a family event where there's a lot of soul food, mac and cheese is almost the main dish.
Yeah.
But yours is amazing. Tell us really quick. I haven't had this yet. I've been dying to try it. But you have and I don't remember what it's called, but it's a sundae.
The barbecue sundae.
It's meat.
The barbecue sundae.
Oh,
yeah. So that's a 12-inch. It's a 12-ounce cup, and it comes with mac and cheese, baked beans, pulled pork, and then coleslaw, and then we drizzle the top. So by the time you get it, the coleslaw comes over, so it looks like you have an actual sundae. And so we drizzle it with instead of chocolate, we drizzle it with barbecue sauce.
And for those people who are eating healthy, you created a salad that your daughter was kind of inspired you or helped you. Tell us about that.
Well, she was like, Dad, you have to have something for like the healthier side or whatever. And I was like, nothing I do is healthy. It's pork. It's a lot of sugar and the baked beans and all that and stuff. And she's like, well, no. She's all, you could do a salad, and she's all, you can add your smoked chicken or your pulled pork, so you get a choice. And the mook it up salad is really good. So you got the sweet dill corn in it. You got a little bit of coleslaw. We put bell peppers, onions. We give you 3 pickle slices, cheese, and then your choice of the meat. And then I came up with a barbecue ranch dressing, and it's really good. And so my daughter, her nickname's Mook, so we call it the Mook It Up.
Oh yeah.
I was just going to ask you, how did it get that name? Because I knew it was called Mook something. It's like, how did you come up with that name? But that makes sense.
Yeah.
Chubb, let me, great menu, great food, great names, great vibe. You have music and so forth. And you're in the wonderful Havelock district, historical district. Sitting good. Well, let's jump in. I'll make sure we get this because there's a big announcement.
There is a big announcement. We are going to be collaborating with a good friend, Harry, owner of Grata, and he has Bar 48. And over the years, I'd go in there and do like small chat with Harry, sit at the bar, have a beer or whatever. And he came to the restaurant 2 weeks ago, and I was actually pre-recording my show in here on a Friday with Guti Sanchez from Tacos Las Hermanos. And because Saturday we had plans or something. So my phone kept going off, but I couldn't answer it. I just felt it vibrating while I'm looking, and it was like, we need help. We need help. Well, as soon as we got done in here, I look, and one of our employees sent me, and there was like 20 tickets sitting on the counter. She's all, we need help. So I was like, I'm on my way. So I'm traveling up O Street doing like 80 to get there. And the house is packed, even in the back, even in the soul patch. Like there was people sitting everywhere, and you could just tell they're aggravated and stuff. Well, I walk in, and the one of the cooks had a couple trays out, and I was like, where are you at? What are you working on? He's, I'm working on this and stuff. And I said, okay, well, I hate when people put their tickets on the counter, because when we pass the food, we put the ticket up there. And that's how you get confused, because either you make it double or you don't get to it because you're already thinking. I said, so first of all, we need to put these up here. And then, I started running it and stuff, and I kept seeing Harry or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, Harry's first time in here and he's waiting or whatever. And I kept watching and watching and watching. Well, finally we slowed down, and I went out there and I was like, this guy's never going to come here and eat again. And like all the people, but I went around, gave him 20% off coupons for the next visit. Talked to Harry, and he was like, man, I get it. I'm a business owner. And I was like, that's cool. I don't like to disappoint people. Well, he sent me a text that Saturday. It was that Saturday. That's what it was. We was going camping.
Mm-hmm. Let me stop you there, Chubb. I talked to Harry last night.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to Harry. You know how he got that idea?
What's that?
He was sitting on a lawnmower. Harry Watson owns a lawnmower business. So a lawnmower. And he kept thinking about you. Kept thinking about you. And he sent you a text.
Yeah.
Yep. He saw the value. He saw the need. He saw the people. He saw the person.
And he tasted the food.
Yep. So he's really excited. I just want you to know that. We had a good conversation. He's so excited for this. And Harry, if you're listening, just a great shout out at the Grotto Bar and Lounge. He's been done a great businessman in Lincoln for some time, and a lot of business that he does. So we're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What's the goal? What's the plan? What's looking in the near future here on North 48?
We're trying to come up with a date. We're actually going to come up. So I'm going to have the guy go measure the window. We're putting our logo on the window. Got some banners we're going to put in the back, and then we're going to come up with a date. And we're waiting on, so Tina's cousin is in ERN, the Elite Referral Network, and she's representing Soulfull Cocina. So they do an open house, and we're seeing if we could do the open house there. Now, we heard a couple of days ago, Karina said that they got to see if it's okay because Harry's not part of the ERN, but I don't feel Harry needs to be. I'm a part of the ERN, and that's where I'm going to be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so if we could do that when they do the open house, that's probably when we'll do the grand opening for us. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have the kitchen part over there. It's really small, but we're going to make it work. And we're going to have just a limited menu. So you can't get everything you can get at Soulfull Cocina, but you can get some damn good food. I guarantee that.
Let me ask you this. What does it mean to you to see that Harry Watson comes to you? What does it mean to you?
Well, I was going to say, like, when I got the text, like, I read it, and then I read it again, and we were sitting in our camper, and I was like, babe, I said, the owner of Grotto, and she knows Harry, and I was like, the owner of Grotto, remember Harry? And she's all, yeah. And I was like, he just sent this text and wants to know if I want to go, like set up in his kitchen. And so I text Harry, and I was like, look, I'm camping right now. I'll call you Monday. Well, I think I called him Sunday. Was it Sunday? No, I called him Monday. I did call him Monday. And we met or whatever, and at Grotto, talked about it. It sounded good. We met. He showed us the Bar 48, and we said, okay, we're going to do it. So I look forward to it.
I want to add, though, you asked what's our plan. It hasn't been our plan. This is just like the food truck. Everything's been falling into place on its own. Mm-hmm. Well, we did, and fast. So pulling that trigger, like he said, it's God, because
he opened the door.
Harry called on a Saturday. Monday, we reached back. I think it was Wednesday we met with him. Then it was
Thursday we went and looked at it.
And we were going to open in like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Even my show, for your listeners, I have a show on Saturdays from 2 to 3, chopping it up with Chubb the Soulfull Way. This was never in my plan. I never, ever, ever thought I'd host like my own radio show. Never.
And look at where we're
God knows better.
Yeah.
He knows better, and we got to take a break.
Yep. We got to take a break. We'll be right back, and we'll finish up in just a minute.
Sometimes you get to talking.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the all-new Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide the smooth energy to get you through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found at Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Breaking here at the news desk. When you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, you can lock in your price for 2 years. Sources are confirming that when you stack Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, your monthly price drops and you're locked in for 2 years. That's fiber fast internet, premium streaming TV, and reliable nationwide mobile coverage. And this just in, you must switch by Labor Day to secure that locked-in pricing for 2 years. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Hi, I'm Casey Oddie, and I'm the retail banking manager at your local Midwest Bank branch on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Banking may be my job, but supporting the community is what I care most about. Whether I'm showing up at local events, partnering with schools, or helping people reach financial milestones, I am proud to be a part of what makes Lincoln strong. Let's build something together.